Greetings. This is Doc Ock coming to you live and direct today from Black Facts Headquarters Central. All right, so I hope y'all are ready for another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. You see, I'm all black today, black on black, in black, talking black, not afraid to talk back, because sometimes you just got to go ahead and let yourself go ahead and be totally black. And that's about where I'm at today. We in the black. So, to get started, let's do the needful. First and foremost, give us a like if you're looking at us on Facebook. If you're seeing us on YouTube, go ahead and give us the old thumbs up. And if you, whichever platform you're on, go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube right now, run on over to YouTube. Get on YouTube now. We did our presentation yesterday, but we're going to do a rewind today, which we haven't done a rewind in quite a while. But we're going to do a rewind today because somehow we forgot to click a button. And in the meanwhile, we've revised our presentation from yesterday somewhat. So we're going to go ahead and just start fresh because we got we had about 30 days. Now we got 26 days or 20, maybe 27 days. I think 27 days, 31 days in May. So we got 27 days left to go. So we got plenty of time. So let's go ahead and use our time wisely. And we'll start off with a little proverb today. Let's see what we got. The teeth are smiling, but is the heart? There's one for you. The teeth are smiling, but is the heart? Something makes you wonder sometimes how you keep from going under. It makes you wonder sometimes. And that is a proverb from the Congo. All right. Proverb from the Congo. And let's go ahead and this month we'll be reading from a very worn copy. Matter of fact, I see it's done come apart into two parts on me now. A very worn copy of the autobiography of Malcolm X. This is the original version, okay, from back in 1964, I think it came out, somewhere around there. But it came out back in the day, right after Malcolm passed. And that was one of the things that he said, is that he didn't think he would be alive at the time that the book came out and was actually in people's hands. So he was very open and honest about what he had to say about his life. And so we're going to go ahead and transition here to our slideshow for the day. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see the slideshow. If you're looking at us on Facebook, you will not see the slideshow. So that's why I'd urge everybody to go on over to YouTube, sign up on the Tubular Black Facts channel. Now, I don't understand why that's doing that. Doesn't usually do that. Oh, that's odd. Okay. Well, at any rate, what you're looking at here, this image you're looking at here, is an image of black students at Kent State University, vintage, what is it, 19, and let me see if I can read the date there. That is 1974, February 22nd, 1974. And they're doing a memorial to Malcolm X. And the reason I stopped to really point this one out is because they were doing this memorial, and it's actually how the organization was founded. This is how the organization first started. It first started as with a celebration of the assassination of Malcolm X, which I always thought was odd. If you love the man, why would you celebrate his assassination? That sounds like something an enemy would do more so than a friend or an acolyte. But that's what they did, and so that actually was the beginning of Black History Month. Started in 1969. That's where the idea first came into the minds of Black students at Kent to go ahead and establish Black History Month the following year, February 1st, 1970. So giving you a little bit more extra history there that you wouldn't get anywhere else. We're going to take some of the mystery out of this history. But we're going to flash through these as we read about Malcolm, and we're going to go all the way back into his past. Okay, there you see the copy of one version of the cover. Okay, we're going to flash back into his past and just dig up some of those demons and uncover some of those demons that Malcolm was having to deal with his entire life. Mind you, he was born 1925. The man died 1965. He only lived to be 40 years old. And his wife, his widow, Betty Shabazz, didn't live to be much older. She only lived to be 61 years old. So both of them died quite young, as it were. Since I'm over both of those ages now, I consider that to be quite young. So, the Sunday before he was, excuse me, that's the introduction. I said I'm not reading that. I'm going straight into the text. When my mother was pregnant with me, she told me later, a party of hooded KKK riders galloped up to our home in Omaha, Nebraska one night, surrounding the house, brandishing their shotguns and rifles. They shouted for my father to come out. My mother went to the front door and opened it, standing where they could see her pregnant condition. She told them that she was alone with her 3 small children and that my father was away preaching in Milwaukee. The Klansmen shouted threats and warnings at her that we had better get out of town because the good Christian white people were not going to stand for my father spreading trouble among the good Negroes of Omaha with the Back to Africa preachings of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. My father, the Reverend Earl Little, was a Baptist minister, a dedicated organizer for Marcus Aurelius Garvey's UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, with the help of such disciples as my father, Garvey, from his headquarters in New York City's Harlem, was raising the banner of black race purity and exhorting the Negro masses to return to their ancestral African homeland, a cause which made Garvey the most controversial black man on earth. Still shouting threats, the Klansmen finally spurred their horses and galloped around the house, shattering every window pane with their gun butts. Then they rode off into the night, their torches flaring. As suddenly as they had come, my father was enraged when he returned. He decided to wait until I was born, which would be quite soon, and then the family would move. I'm not sure why he made this decision, for he was not a frightened Negro, as most then were, and many still are today. My father was a big 6'4", very black man. He only had one eye. How he had lost the other one, I have never known. He was from Reynolds, Georgia, where he had left school after the 3rd or maybe the 4th grade. He believed, as did Marcus Garvey, that freedom, independence, and self-respect could never be achieved by the Negro in America, and that therefore the Negro should leave America to the white man and return to his African land of origin. Among the reasons my father had decided to risk and dedicate his life to help disseminate this philosophy among his people was that he had seen 4 of his 6 brothers die by violence, 3 of them killed by white men, including 1 by lynching. What my father could not know then was that of the remaining 3, including himself, only 1, my Uncle Jim, would die in bed of natural causes. Northern white police were later to shoot my Uncle Oscar, and my father was finally himself to die by the white man's hands. It has always been my belief that I too will die by violence. I've done all that I can to be prepared. I was my father's 7th child. He had 3 children by a previous marriage, Ella, Earl, and Mary, who lived in Boston. He had met and married my mother in Philadelphia, where their first child, my oldest full brother, Wilfred, was born. They moved from Philadelphia to Omaha, where Hilda and then Filbert were born. I was next in line. My mother was 28 when I was born on May 19, 1925 in an Omaha hospital. Then we moved to Milwaukee, where Reginald was born. From infancy, he had some kind of hernia condition, which was to handicap him physically for the rest of his life. Louise Little, my mother, who was born in Grenada in the British West Indies, looked like a white woman. Her father was white. She had straight black hair, and her accent did not sound like a Negro's. Of this white father of hers, I know nothing except her shame about it. I remember hearing her say she was glad that she had never seen him. It was, of course, because of him that I got my reddish brown Mariani color of skin and my hair of the same color. I was the lightest child in our family. Out in the world later on in Boston and New York, I was among the millions of Negroes who were insane enough to feel that it was some kind of status symbol to be light complexioned, that one was actually fortunate to be born thus. But still later, I learned to hate every drop of that white rapist blood that is in me. And we're going to end it right there. That's the end of just the second page. So we're just cracking this book open here and reading it for the umpteenth time. I first read this book back in the 70s. I haven't read it again that I can recall since, and I've looked at parts of it, but I haven't outright started reading it from the very beginning. So, as always, when you go back and reread a book that you've already read before. Same when you go to see a movie and you go see it over again. So, that's the beginning of this month's noontime storytelling that we're going to be doing. We're going to be continuing on tomorrow. Look for us here again at noon. And of course, we'll be back at 9 o'clock tonight with more from the book. Got to transition out of that. More from the book March, Book 1. And this is a series of 3 books. And the books are all about it's the story of how John Lewis got involved in the civil rights movement, starting with a flashback to that infamous first walk that they did, that first march they did over the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, which has now happened a little bit more than 50 years ago. I believe this year would mark the 51st year since they marched over that bridge. But it's a trilogy. It's 3 books it's a 3-book series. I don't know how many of those books we're going to go through, but we will be. It's a graphic novel, so there, it gets fairly graphic there. So we're going to be reading it, and we'll be posting up the graphics here on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see the whole thing, you definitely want to tune into YouTube. In the meanwhile, you know what you need to do. It's that time again. Go ahead, give us a like. Thank you. Go ahead, give us a like, then give us, or if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube rather, give us a thumbs up, and then go ahead and tell your friends and your family about what we're doing over here. Invite them to come and join the fun. Okay? So everybody can get some. And in the meanwhile, we hope you have a good day and end it with a smile. After a while, in the meanwhile, we're going ahead and just do our extra out. And we will be black tonight. Hope to